Megacast TV, your channel of choice. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome to another episode of Megacast TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to keep up to date with uploads. We upload every Monday at 8 p.m. Please search Megacast TV and find us on Facebook. And I'm joined as always by my co-host extraordinaire, Trace. Hello, Trace. How are you?
I'm good, Jake, and how are you? I'm very excited about tonight. Shall we get underway?
We can do. We're joined today by Gav, who works for Caring for Kendray. He's the chairperson for Caring for Kendray, and he runs the food bank. Is that right, Gav?
Yeah, pretty much, amongst a few other people. But yeah, I'm seen to be the one who puts the least amount of work in, but gets the most credit.
What got you into doing the food bank in the first place? What was your inspiration behind it?
I've got a lot of friends. I'm actually from Doncaster, and I've got a lot of friends that are in the hospitality sector. And when the first lockdown happened, I basically waved goodbye to their employment, albeit temporary in some cases. I have lots of friends similar age to me who didn't have much savings. They might have young children like we have, and if I could support in any way, I wanted to do that. So I come downstairs one night and I said to Colleen, I said, I want to start helping people. And we started off with £20. That were April, last year. 12 days after my son were born, which is a great time to come up with those ideas. So yeah, we had a son and he was born all healthy, and then 12 days later, Dad decided to have a crackpot idea and start and open a food bank.
How many people have you helped since the lockdown, and have people needed it more, do you feel, since the lockdown?
If you ask the exact numbers,
Just off the top of your head.
I'd easily say we're over 1,000 now.
Wow.
So that's 1,000 food parcels, and then we have a lot of families who come and they collect surplus food. What I class as surplus food is food that has gone past its best before date, but is still perfectly safe to eat.
So how do people get in touch, Gav, if they need a food parcel?
So we have our Facebook page, facebook.com/Caring for Kendray. I'm sure you'll probably link it. But
yeah, I will.
If you need to get in touch, you just send a quick message. We do have a little survey which we just ask people to be honest about the situations. We know times can be hard. It's been difficult for everyone. So if they're just honest about the situation, then we see and we try and support the best we can.
How do people in need get in touch with you for the food parcels? Is it through that service? Do they have to find you on the web, or is there any other way of contacting you?
We have got a contact number, and we do get outside organisations that do get in contact every now and again. There's a lovely lady called Lisa. Oh, I hope she don't mind me mentioning her, but she does a lot of work with Barnsley homeless and people who have just found accommodation.
Okay.
So they have some of their residents are supported by myself and Lisa.
So you've already mentioned that you've got surplus food and you give that out to anybody, do you?
Ideally, it goes to your main food parcels. What we like to do, we try and put some non-perishable food in: pastas, your rice, your cereal, soups, and try and get a little bit of meat in there if we can, when finances dictate. But we try and put perishable foods in, like your bread, your fruits, your vegetables.
So do you charge for any of the food parcels? Is it a case of if somebody's coming, if they can make a little donation, maybe even you'd take that to help keep going?
Food parcels, no.
Okay.
Now, when we do have families who come to collect surplus food, we do say if you'd like to make a donation, it would be much appreciated. But it's not obliged. Nobody has to pay anything because I don't know people's finances. But what I will say is if a donation is made, it goes back into the food parcels, and we've actually got 2 allotment plots. So
Wow, so you're growing your own food as well?
I'd like to say we're growing our own food, but I do get a lot of volunteers down there, and whilst we try and do some gardening, it's also like a release for mental health wise. I'm not going into full detail, but I've suffered with mental health for a number of years now, and we try and make it as like a closed space so everybody can talk, and whatever gets said on that allotment's just said.
Getting your hands in the earth, it releases serotonin and things, doesn't it? So it's brilliant.
Yeah, and whilst I'm not a trained counsellor or a therapist, I can listen and I can try and relate to what they're going through. It's sometimes I can't. I have some experiences in life and I've had some setbacks, and if I can try and just be a listening ear or sympathetic or just explain to them, it does get better. It's a massive team effort. We've got a lot of people. Colleen does a lot of work. We have Michaela, we have Annette, we've got Kev now, we've got lots of other volunteers who all
So roughly how many volunteers have you got, Gav? Do you know?
We've started increasing. We've got like ad hoc collection drivers, which every now and again we have volunteers now on allotment, but I'd say there's a main group of maybe 6 or 7, and then probably like another 5 or 6 volunteers who just help when they can.
A mighty oak is growing.
Yeah, it's been a long process, but I'd like to see one benefit out of COVID, where if it's getting community spirit together or just being there to help families. It's not easy, and times aren't easy, and I can fully appreciate that. I've been on benefits previously, and I know how hard it can be, and I've got young kids in the house, and I know what it's like. So if I can help in just a tiny little way, then that's what I try to do.
So what areas do you cover, Gav?
We set up, and we basically just thought it was going to be Kendray, but it's become very apparent that we might need people in other areas.
So have you got any other sources of food supply other than obviously the supermarkets and the allotment? Can people make their own donations to the food bank?
Yeah, people donate whether they've been through difficult times and then might be a little bit of better off now. I can think of one during the first actual lockdown. They were bank nurses, and obviously there were a massive increase in hours, and they were struggling to get to a supermarket. So you wouldn't necessarily say they needed help, but if we could support them and just give them a few basics, which we did, a couple of months later, they brought a massive donation back down to us, which is all a bit of karma. If people are getting into better times, then the support. I've had people who have got into work, not doing the jobs that they used to do, but they've got into work and they've made a donation, or I've had family members to other people.
It's all about playing it forward, isn't it? I'm a big believer in that. You know, you help and then you get it back tenfold, and then somebody else helps, you know, and and it all falls into place, doesn't it? It's all about playing it forward. When you're low, somebody helps you. Then when you get better, you help them back, and we keep the cycle going.
Yep.
What does a typical food parcel contain, Gav?
It all depends on what we have in. At times, unfortunately, there's times where we can be a victim of our own success. We try and get cereal, we try and get bread in, pastas, soups, and basically anything else we can get. It's difficult at times. When I first started, I trained in like a chef background, so I tried to come up with like meals, but then I quickly realized that I'm not going to be able to sustain doing that. But I like to get a variety of basics in, and obviously with surplus food, that can help as well. People can take extra bread on, which they can freeze, or they can blanch fruit, or they can blanch vegetables and freeze them and use them at a later date. So.
And does that include, is there liquid included in that, like squash for kids or tea bags or milk? Or
I always get tea bags in. We have UHT milk. Unfortunately, I can't give out squash as much as I'd like to, because it doesn't always come in.
How do you go about raising funds for Kendray?
Right. We've been supported quite recently. We had a donation from Jack's Supermarket. They donated £500 from memory. We started asking for like donations of clothing and stuff like that. We have a Facebook group that's almost got 1,000 members on now. So it always amazes me what we're able to sell on there, stuff that even I didn't think I'd get anything goes, and we get donations, and if somebody comes to buy something, they might bring some things that they don't need, and it all goes back into community. It all goes back into what we're doing. And if you check our Facebook page out, you'll be able to see it. It's all open, it's all transparent. Everything that we do is there. You can see it and you can follow the journey.
Oh, that's such an inspiration. I can't believe, from a guy coming downstairs in April and deciding he wanted to help people, even though he'd struggled himself.
Mm-hmm.
Just an inspiration, and he's so humble with it as well. He's just my person.
Yeah. Well, Gav, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Let me, I will put links to the Facebook group and to the page in the subscription of this video. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Gav. It really has, and keep up the good work.
Oh, no. Many thanks for having me.
Yes, Gav. I've really enjoyed meeting you, and what an inspiration! What a journey to be able to share with other people out there. So look after yourself and everybody else as you are doing.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We upload videos every Monday at 8 PM here on YouTube. Hit the notification bell to keep up to date with the uploads. Anyway, I'm going now. Bye.
And it's a very good evening, afternoon, night from her.
We're joined today by put my teeth in. Oh, still ugly.
No, my lips are dry.
Can you centre a bit?
Do what?
Can you centre a bit? There we go.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah. I forget because I'm sideways, see, so the camera's sideways, not at the top, and I'm so used to working from the top.
Oh, Colleen's already told me about me swearing, so I've been told to mention fruit and vegetables, so I might just be shouting cabbage or aubergine. Or...
Megacast TV, your channel of choice. Please like, share, and subscribe.